What's going on, everybody? It's the Koffin Kreature here, and I'm back with another video. And today I figured I would do a bit of a recent pickups haul video of some of the horror movies that I've gotten in the last few weeks, month or two, something like that. And I got a couple DVDs and a couple Blu-rays here. I wasn't able to find any VHS recently. I actually just went out to a couple thrift stores earlier today and found nothing. I don't know about your area where you live, but the thrift shops around me are coming up dry a lot of times these days. And another one of my favorite used media stores closed about a week ago, closed down for good. So that's great. So anyway, let's get to the things that I picked up recently. And the first one is a full moon release. And of course, if you're watching this, you know what full moon is. The Charles Band Company did a lot of classic, I guess you could say, low budget movies. You know, things like Puppet Master and Doll Man, stuff like that. And this is one I always saw when this came out on video. I believe it was 1995. I would always see this cover in the video store. I always wanted to watch it, but I never picked it up. I never rented it. I don't know why. But this is Stuart Gordon directed movie starring his good friends Jeffrey Combs and Barbara Crampton. They worked together on Reanimator and From Beyond. So anyway, this is it. This is Castle Freak. Look at that cover. It's basically Jeffrey Combs and his wife in the film, Barbara Crampton, move into a massive estate that Jeffrey Combs' character inherits. But there's something a little strange about this place. There's a little friend still living there, and they deal with that. They have Barbara Crampton and Jeffrey Combs have a young daughter. I don't want to spoil too much about it. They have a young daughter, and it's basically what they go through trying to stay safe and get away from the Castle Freak. And if you want to check out the back here a little bit. And what's really cool about full moon releases, not all of them, especially recently, but this DVD has the original Video Zone that was on the VHS release of this movie back in the day, back in 1995. So yeah, pretty cool. I was really stoked to finally pick this one up after 31 years now. So, Castle Freak. And the next one is a bit of an interesting one. There's a very specific reason why I picked this movie up. And if you're familiar with Red Letter Media here on YouTube, you'll recognize this movie and you'll know why I picked it up. It was featured on their Best of the Worst show, and for the movies I haven't seen that they feature on that show, if it looks interesting to me, I try to pick it up. But this comes from a very let's say, I wouldn't say controversial, he's just kind of a weirdo director. It's a Donald Farmer film, and it is Dorm of the Dead. yeah. Basically, if you're not familiar with the Red Letter Media channel or Donald Farmer or this film, it's a cheapo zombie movie that takes place on a college campus. That's really all you need to know about it. I haven't gotten around to watching the full movie yet. Of course I saw the clips on the Best of the Worst show and all that. But yeah, as Tiffany Shepis is in it, who's pretty well known in the B horror scene, like a B horror scream queen. So yeah, it's Dawn of the Dead. Next up, we have a sequel to a classic, legendary movie, you could say. I mean, there's not a whole lot I can say about it. I haven't watched it in a very, very, very long time. I think I watched it one time, probably on HBO 25, 30 years ago, who knows. But it's The Exorcist 3. I mean, what can you say? It's The Exorcist 3. I've heard a lot. Like I said, I haven't seen this in a very, very long time. I don't remember much except for one specific scene, the big scissors. But I know Exorcist 2 is legendarily horrible. I've seen that too, but it's been a very long time as well. But I know that's pretty well known as one of the worst sequels of all time, especially considering the movie that it's a sequel to, which is an absolute classic. But Exorcist 3 is supposedly very, very good as far as the sequel goes. And I'll have to watch it again to, refresh my memory and see if it still holds up. So yeah, Exorcist 3. And this is another movie that I can't remember if I saw it in the theater or if I just saw it on TV later on, or I rented it. I might have rented it. And I don't remember a whole lot about it. But I saw this at a local Goodwill a few weeks ago. And it is Ghost Ship. And like I said, I don't remember much about it. But I'll have to watch it again pretty soon just to check it out. And check out the coolest thing. Well, I wouldn't say the coolest, but one of the cool things about this DVD here is the lenticular cover. How cool does that look? And again, like the Exorcist 3, it's one of these old school snap cases. But yeah, this is one of those movies that came out in the early 2000s, I think 2002, I believe. And it has, looking at the back of the box there, it has that feel of the horror movies of that time, especially when they started remaking a lot of old movies, like 13 Ghosts remake, which I don't have yet, and I've been on the lookout for it because I haven't seen that probably since it came out. But yeah, they all have that kind of, it gives me that same vibe of that era of horror, that early 2000s feel. The special effects, the CGI and stuff, I can't remember if there is any, but there probably is, knowing the time. It's gonna have that very specific early 2000s look, and you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I'll have to pop this in here soon and see if it's still any good. I remember liking it when I first saw it a million years ago, but let's see if I still like it. That's, yeah, Ghost Ship. And the last of the DVDs is one that I'm pretty sure I saw this in the theater when it came out. I do remember seeing this in the theater. I remember liking it back then. I think I might have seen it once or twice since then. I might have rented it again, or it came on cable, something like that. But it was it's a movie based on The Haunting of Hill House. It's The Haunting. It seems to be a movie that you can find at every thrift store. Like if there's any horror at a thrift store, a lot of times it's this movie. I don't know why. It's the Titanic of horror movies at thrift stores. And for some reason, Jerry Maguire too. There's a lot of that around here. Anyway, yeah, The Haunting. Catherine Zeta-Jones, Liam Neeson. Owen Wilson's in this. He has I think, a very legendary scene. And I don't, if you haven't seen it, I don't want to spoil what happens, but if you know, you know. But yeah, I'll have to watch this one again here pretty soon because it's been a long time. But I remember back then, I remember liking it quite a bit. So yeah, The Haunting. Now we got just 2 Blu-rays now, and I'll actually save that one till the end. Now this one, again, because of Red Letter Media and their Best of the Worst show, I wanted to pick this one up because I had never seen it before. But what they showed of it and what they discussed made me absolutely want to see it. And I watched it a couple weeks ago, and yeah, it's horrible. But in that way that, like, it's fun horrible, you know what I mean? Not like maybe not quite on the level of like a Troll 2 or The Room or something like that, but yeah, it kind of has that same, like, it's so bad it's good, almost good. But anyway, it's a newer film. It is Wish Upon, and it's, if you haven't seen it, it's basically this young girl comes in possession of this strange music box that grants wishes. And of course, like with anything with the genie's wish or the monkey's paw, anything like that, where you make a wish and something bad's gonna happen either to you or to somebody you know. So it's kind of like that, but it is, I don't know, it's hilarious. It's not, and it's not supposed to be hilarious, but it is. It's absolutely hilarious, and I do recommend watching it if you haven't seen it before. And this Blu-ray has the unrated director's cut and the theatrical PG-13 cut. Don't bother with the theatrical cut. Just watch the unrated director's cut. Yeah, this if you like So Bad It's Good movies, if you like The Room, you like Troll 2, you like stuff like that, pick this up, because it won't go for much. Usually I think I got this at a secondhand store for like maybe $3 or $4, something like that. So, but yeah, it's worth it if you like So Bad It's Good movies. Yeah, Wish Upon. And last up, it's, I don't know if you would really consider it a horror movie. It's not. It's more of a fantasy movie, but it's also a children's movie. This is another one. If you watched my last video where I talked about Little Monsters and how much I watched that as a kid back in like the 80s and the early 90s. This is another one that I watched all the time. Oh, I think I just showed it. I'm gonna blur that out too. Keep doing that. Anyway, it's another one I watched a ton as a kid. And I'm sure if you're of a certain age, you'll probably have a similar connection to this movie. It's The Never-Ending Story on Blu-ray, which I was excited to find. This I did find at a thrift store, and it was $2 maybe, something like that. But yeah, again, another one that I watched a ton when I was a kid, but I haven't watched it in a long time. But you know, clips of it are constantly being shown and different videos, whatever. And but if you haven't seen Never-Ending Story, maybe it's before your time, or you know, you're a younger person that's never seen some of these classic kids movies from the 80s, like, you know, this and The Goonies, things like that. Or if you have kids now that are about the age when they start watching something a little more than just, you know, safe cartoons and things like that, and they want to get into something a little more serious, this is a good one to get them started on, for sure. It still holds up, I'm sure, from what I've seen. Again, I haven't watched the whole movie in a long time, but you know, you still see clips here and there, and it still looks like it holds up really well. But yeah, Never-Ending Story. And that's actually it for my pickups in the last couple weeks or so. Like I said, I went to a couple thrift stores earlier today and just nothing. I mean, they had things, they had DVDs and things like that, but nothing that I didn't already have or didn't want, you know. But let me know how your area is, how your local area thrift stores, like, you know, what kind of things have you found at these thrift stores? It used to be really good. I don't know what happened in the last couple years, but it's just gone downhill big time, and it's hard finding stuff. And now with two of my go-to used media stores closed, thrift stores like the last place, and you know, I don't really want to go on eBay to find, like, you can go on the internet, like, oh, I want to find this VHS or this DVD, and like, you can get it online, but that takes the fun out of it, you know. You walk into a used media shop or a thrift store, and there's a movie you've been looking for 10 years sitting there, and it's like $1 or $2, whatever. Like, you can't beat that. So, but yeah, I think this will wrap up this little video here. I think I meant to make it a little shorter than this, but it's going a little bit long, so I'm going to shut up. I'm going to keep rambling. But yeah, thanks for watching, and buy physical media, always. See you later.